Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So in the past we've learned that the Arabic language, it has three types of words. There's the fi'l, the ism, and the harf. So far we've learned about the ism, but inshallah in this episode we're going to start learning about the harf. Now the harf can be defined as a word that doesn't have a complete meaning by itself. So when we're talking about the harf, we're going to focus on how it works with other words. And in this particular episode, we're going to focus on what happens when a harf works with an ism. So here in the English key, the author tells us Arabic nouns or isms have endings to show their functions in the sentence. The normal ending of a noun is u, as in al-baytu jadidun. So the author is telling us that the isms in this sentence, they both end in a dhamma. And the ending of the ism, it shows its function in the sentence. Now so far all the isms have ended in a dhamma, whether it has tanween or not. Al-baytu not having tanween, jadidun having tanween. But they both end in dhamma, and this is the default for the ism. So unless there's a reason for the ism to end in something other than the dhamma, it's going to end in a dhamma. This is the default. So further, the author says a noun with the normal ending is said to be in the nominative case. In Arabic, it is called Marfoo. So when an ism ends in a dhamma, ends in the default case, you can say that it is in a state of Marfoo. However, in this episode, we're going to learn how that ending changes when the ism works with a harf. So here the author says, after a preposition or a harf, this ending changes to e. So the ending goes from u, a dhamma, in a state of marfu', to e, a kasra, in a state of what is called majroor. So here we see an example, al-baytu. So we've already learned about this in the past. Al-baytu, it ends in a dhamma. This is the default for the ism. It is a state of marfu'. However, here, this word here, fi, this is a harf, which means in. And as the author just told us, after a harf, this ending changes to e. So it goes from al-baytu to fil bayti. So the dhamma changes to a kasra. Why? Because it comes after a harf. And this example shows you how it changes with just one harakah. However, the rule still applies if it has tanween. So for example, baytun, a house, it has tanween, it has two dhammas. If a harf enters upon it, fi, it becomes fi baytin. So it went from having two dhammas in its default state of marfu' to two kasras, baytin, being in a state of majroor. Why? Because it came after a harf. Now if we look at the sharh, we see a darsul rabi', the fourth lesson. Haruf al-jar, fi, ala, min, ila. So these are all harfs. And when an ism comes after any one of these, it takes on the kasra and it enters a state of majroor. Fi meaning in, ala meaning on, min meaning from, and ila meaning to. So again, a harf is a word that doesn't have a complete meaning on its own. As we can see, none of these have a complete meaning on their own. You have to use them with other words to extract a real meaning. And here we see a definition for haruf al-jar. Tajurul isma alladhi ba'daha bil kasrati. So haruf is the plural for harf in Arabic. And these are called haruf al-jar because they're harfs, they're haruf that make the ism coming after it enter a state of majroor. So it says tajurul isma alladhi ba'daha. So it makes the ism coming after them majroor bil kasra, and it takes the kasra. So down here we have some examples. Let's look at this second row of examples. We see al-qalamu ala al-maktabi. So al-qalamu, we know means the pen. It has the alif and lam, making it definite. It's referring to a specific pen. And because it begins the sentence, it's in a state of marfoo. It's in its default state, which means it ends in a dhamma. And we know it ends in one dhamma instead of two because of the alif lam. It's definite. And we learned about that in past episodes. So al-qalamu, the pen, ala. Ala means on. It is a harf. So the pen is on al-maktabi, the desk. Now why doesn't al-maktab, why doesn't it end in a dhamma? Why don't you say al-qalamu ala al-maktabu? Well, this is because it comes after a harf jar. It comes after ala. This harf here, it makes the ism coming after it enter a state of majroor with the kasra. So that's why it ends in a kasra instead of a dhamma. Well, why does it end in one kasra instead of two kasras? Why don't you say al-qalamu ala al-maktabin? Well, because it has an alif lam. It's definite. And the same rule applies regarding tanween, whether it's in a state of marfoo', such as al-qalamu, or if it's in a state of majroor, such as al-maktabi. Let's look at the next example. Al-tiflu ala sariri. The child is on the bed. We see al-tiflu, the child, it ends in a dhamma because it is in a state of marfuu', since it's in its default state. It starts the sentence, there's nothing making it take on a different state. Next we see ala, on, which is a harf. Since it's a harf, it makes the ism coming after it majroor. So as-sariri takes on the kasra, showing that it is majroor. And here if we go to the main book, we see ad-darsu rabi', the fourth lesson. And here the author very clearly demonstrates how the dhamma becomes a kasra. Al-baytu becomes fil bayti. Al-masjidu becomes fil masjidi. Why? Because fi, meaning in, is a harf. So when al-bayt starts a sentence, it's beginning the sentence, so it's just in its default state of marfuu', meaning it ends in a dhamma. However, when it comes after a harf, it becomes majroor, meaning it ends in a kasra. So al-baytu becomes fil bayti, al-masjidu becomes fil masjidi. The house, in the house. The masjid, in the masjid. The next two examples we see al-maktabu ala al-maktabi. Ala meaning on. So al-maktabu, the desk, ala al-maktabi, on the desk. When al-maktab is by itself, it's in the state of marfuu', its default state, meaning it ends in a dhamma. When it comes after a harf, such as ala, it becomes al-maktabi in a state of majroor, ending in a kasra. Here we see as-sariru, the bed, ala sariri, on the bed. So that does it for this episode. Just to re-emphasize what we went over today, Arabic nouns, the ism in Arabic, its ending shows the function it plays in a sentence. Now up until today, all of the isms have ended in dhamma, because dhamma is the default state for the ism. And this state is called marfoo'. However, when a harf comes before the ism, instead of ending in a dhamma, the ism ends in a kasra. That state is called majroor. So for example, al-baytu becomes fil bayti. May Allah make it easy for us to learn the Arabic language. Jazakumullahu khairan wa salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.